Hello, sweet souls. Today I wanted to chat about the secret power that fear and imposter syndrome has. Let's start with fear. When we think about starting something new, oftentimes we feel scared. When it's something new that's different, that goes outside of the norms, that goes outside what we think we should do, or that in some way levels up in our life, right? So, for example, if you start a business, that's gonna be scary. If you decide that you've wanted to go bungee jumping your whole life and today's the day you're gonna do it, that's going to be scary. If you see a cute girl at the cafe and you decide to go talk to her, that's going to be scary. But just because we feel fear, it doesn't mean we shouldn't do the things. Now, when we say this out loud, we think, of course, but in practice, it can be really challenging. Oftentimes when we get this voice of fear, we start to have insecurities, right? So like, who am I to do this? I won't succeed. I don't know anyone else who's done this. Other people have said no. And those can all be really scary. But let's take a moment to think about how else that fear could mean. And even though it can be really scary, if we take a second to look at that fear and decide to change it into more of a growth mindset, it can stop stopping you so much. When this fear voice comes in our mind, we are often stopped by doing things. Because even though when we're talking about it, you and me, about how this fear sometimes means leveling up, in practice, when we hear this fear voice, it can really stop us. Because we don't take the fear as a silly thought or even just a potential, we take it as truth, right? So we take it as, if I will do this, I will get embarrassed. If I do this, I will fail. So I encourage you the next time to look at that fear and take a second to understand where it's coming from first, right? So if you're see that girl at a cafe that you want to talk to and you get scared, be like, okay, I'm feeling really scared because I'm afraid of rejection. Because I'm afraid that she won't like me. So take a second to look at that fear and being like, okay, it makes sense you're coming up because you're trying to protect me. But actually, this could be something really beautiful. You never know, this might be the love of your life, this might be your best friend, it might just be a sweet interaction for a day. But take a second to level with that voice of fear and say, yeah, that could happen, but I could also make someone smile today. I could also make someone's day. I could also meet someone amazing. So taking a moment to shift that fear can really increase the growth in our life so rapidly because we're no longer stopping ourselves from the things that will help us level up. And reminding ourselves that most of the time when we feel that fear, when it's for something we know is for us, it's just that sign that you're leveling up, my love. So the next one, which I am very familiar with, is imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is when you feel like, who am I to do this? You know, like, what rights do I have doing this? Can I actually help people? And this fear gets into most people's way who are trying to start something or change a job or things like this. Because basically, similar to the fear voice, this is a fear of saying, you've never done this before, my love. Like, what if you fail? What are we gonna do if it doesn't work out? And that brings up a lot of fear, which turns into imposter syndrome. Our mind starts telling us, no, you can't do this. Who are you to do this? You've never done this before. But similar to fear, I really like to take this as a voice of, wow, I'm really leveling up. My inner voice are scared because I am leveling up. So sometimes when I feel that voice of imposter syndrome, even though it really is just this fear of leveling up, which is exciting, sometimes you have to take a moment, similar to the fear, to reason with it, to let it feel heard. So what I like to do is, let's say I'm stepping into a new job, I like to do something factual and something magical. So the factual, I will sit down and I will write down every reason why I'm ready for this. Let's say it's starting a new job. So I will write down, I have the certifications, I'm passionate, I'm driven, I read the description and I know I'm the best person for the job. I feel this is a place I could flourish. I know this will allow me to have a better mental health because I'll be stepping into a work field that I love. I really like my boss and I feel she could inspire me and I could inspire her. Write down all those facts and read them out loud. Read them out loud as many times as you need for that voice to start feeling a sense of, okay, this is scary, but maybe we are qualified. So I love to do that for a little factual thing when I'm doing imposter syndrome. And then the second thing I like to do, which can feel scary, is sometimes you're afraid and you have to do it anyways. Because again, this sense of scary, it's that leveling up, it's that trying something new we've never tried that could expand our lives so wide. So hearing yourself and saying, wow, this is scary. For example, doing this YouTube channel, this is scary for me. I'm like, what if nobody watches this? What if people think it's silly? But I have to tap in and just say, I know this is my truth and I know I feel a calling to do it. So there's no way it can fail, because if it fails, what does that mean? That people don't watch? I'm still doing what my intuition is telling me, and maybe one person hears it and they really connect to something. You can never fail at what your soul is telling you to do. So the next time you feel that imposter syndrome, do a little bit of your fact checking, let that part of your brain kind of check off and be like, all right, actually we are qualified. And then also give yourself a bit of this confidence boost of, listen, if my intuition is telling me to do this, there is a reason. And if I'm feeling a sense of imposter syndrome, it's simply a leveling up of my life. How exciting is that? So in a time of change, whether you're changing jobs, changing cities, going on a big trip, and you're feeling these sense of fears or imposter syndrome, try to think about it like this and reverse it into an actual flourishing mindset. So hear those voices, listen to them, let them know they're heard, fact check them, and let them know that it makes sense they're feeling this way because they're trying to protect you, but actually this could be such a flourishing step, and it's okay if they're scared because you're gonna hold their hand through it. I hope that this little sprinkle helps you in your phase in life as much as it's helped me. And I am sending you so much love, my dear. Thank you for joining in this very short video. I'm excited to see you next time. Ciao!